the best thing that happened to Mercedes-Benz is that Luce.
Yeah.
That is the best thing that could happen.
Because this suddenly wasn't in the news anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah. Again.
The back end. I can't believe this car.
So this is the AMG GT.
We're just dogging on all of these cars, but they look so bad.
These are the most notable cars that have come out in the last few weeks. I know.
But like,
it's like they all got into a meeting and they're like, look, we all got to do electric cars. Let's all just commit to just making the most ugly things we can make so we don't have to make any. I almost believe that.
Look at how high up these frog looking,
they are frog. That's what it looks like, a frog.
It looks like a frog.
It does.
Looks like a frog with a big old gaping mouth. And like, okay, when you look at something that has been clearly designed with a previous, perfect example, Mini Cooper.
Mm-hmm.
The 05 to 2015 Mini Cooper, you look at that and you are like, that looks like a Mini Cooper if you brought it into the modern era and made it past safety regulations.
And like doubled its size, but yeah.
And it's not because you made a car and then printed the word Mini Cooper all over it. It's not because you made your stupid giant headlights a 3-pointed star or made the 3-pointed star a foot tall on the front. This isn't a Mercedes design. This is just a design that someone just basically copied and pasted the Mercedes logo on it and said, just believe me.
GT55 and GT63 are the GT 4-door Coupe. It's the 4-door Coupe. From this point on, I'm calling it a sedan because that's what it is.
Yeah.
And 4-door Coupe makes no sense. They used to sell a 2-door and 4-door version of this car that were gas only. From this point forward, you can still get the gas version in the 2-door, but the 4-door, the sedan, is only electric. Going forward, it's the GT55 and then the higher end GT63 that has a more potent drivetrain. Design is less polarizing, I think, than the BMW. On BMW, some people like it, some people don't. This isn't polarizing, and that same as the Luce, everyone's kind of in agreement on absolutely hating this.
Yeah, Sketch Monkey tried to make it better, and
didn't work.
Even his vast wealth of talent could not.
Yeah, it's meant to compete with the likes of the Porsche Taycan, the Lucid Air Sapphire, and then, of course, BMW's upcoming electric M cars, but that is a rough batch of...
I mean, even the back. Look at how bad... Look, the stupid Mercedes... This is what I'm talking about. Where they're just like, it's a Mercedes, I promise. I'm just going to keep putting more... 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7... And then on the front, 8, 9, 10 of these badges on the outside. Oh, and on the hood, 11 badges on the outside. Oh, and on the wheels, 12, 13, 14. There's 15 Mercedes badges on the outside of this vehicle.
It's like on the new BMW if they just lined it with kidney grills.
Yeah.
Just to be like, it's a BMW?
Yeah, instead they went with none of them. But
yeah.
But
or they just put a giant like prancing horse statue on the back of the Luce to like really sell the idea this really is a Ferrari, guys.
It's like a 2-ton golden horse statue just nailed to the roof. Yeah, the best thing that could have happened to this car was the Luce being announced 3 days later.
The specs are really impressive. It uses AMG's EA architecture. I don't know if I'm saying that right. It's tri-motor, 800 volts, 106 kilowatt hours, and a whopping 600 kilowatt charging, which is cutting edge.
It is. And it's so cutting edge that it doesn't matter because nowhere can charge that fast.
Yeah, that's like the infrastructure is not caught up to that.
Then I don't know that there's anywhere that you could charge that fast.
1,153 horsepower, 0 to 60 in 2.1 seconds, and a top speed of 186. So, I mean, by all means, a very capable car, very fast, and a good EV. I mean, I don't know what the range is, but...
Money, no object, that does not pass the look-back test. That passes the...
Yeah.
Like you get out of it and you're like, I really hope no one saw me get out of this.
You can make a car look unique and striking for the point of grabbing attention, and that works in like a budget vehicle to differentiate it, make it look different, because the market's so saturated with cheap vehicles. You may as well make something that looks a little more out there and gets attention, like the Nissan Juke. You know, like Logan said, like, yeah, it's not for you or me, but if you're shopping around for something in that price range, this really stands out.
This will probably get attention.
Right. It will, even though it costs
whether it's
as much.
The Nissan Cube or the original Juke, Nissan has
wacky.
They have sold ugly cars forever, and they sell ugly cars now, and they will sell ugly cars in the future.
Yeah, it helps them stand out in a crowded market. A flagship performance sedan shouldn't need to rely on looking wacky to drive sales, especially a Mercedes. They should be elegant and sleek and beautiful and stand out by how premium they look and feel. They shouldn't be like, well, look at this lime green paint and all these Mercedes badges and all these crazy headlight things. Like, legitimately, this car, with how this looks, the graphics and the paint, honestly, it makes it look $100,000 cheaper.
Mm-hmm.
This does not scream to me $150,000 to $180,000 car.
No.
I don't care what the performance looks like. This looks like it's trying to stand out in a crowded, cheap vehicle market. is what it looks like.
I mean,
It gives me the same vibes as
Yeah.
looking at this Juke.
Absolutely. And there's when it comes to performance or luxury cars, you want the visible exterior to write checks that the performance can cash. Or you want it to say this is a Rolls Royce. The promise that the exterior is making is that this is going to be a luxury experience. And then they have to back that up
And deliver it.
it's terrible to look at, and unfortunately that sort of spoils it, even
Yeah.
if it is extremely performant.